Something very strange is happening on the southern border. Why are thousands of Chinese men suddenly migrating across our southern border? Now, we know that it's very difficult to escape from China, and China has even set up police stations across the world trying to spy or follow on the activities of Chinese people in various foreign countries. So what's happening at the southern border that allows so many Chinese men to cross into the United States? A vast number of Chinese citizens are illegally crossing our border with Mexico. The U.S. Border Patrol is able to apprehend some of them, but thanks to the Biden administration, once they process, most of them are given notices to appear and are then freely released into our communities. That means that they are running around without any supervision whatsoever. And as you can see in the videos here, that Michael Schneider, this is an article from Michael Schneider, he says, I've posted in this article, men make up the overwhelming majority of the Chinese citizens that are migrating across our southern border, and almost all of them, all these men are of military age. In some cases, these men are paying human smugglers as much as $35,000 to get them into Texas. So either those men are independently wealthy or someone else is providing that money to them. Unfortunately, most Americans don't even realize that this is happening because Fox News is the only major news network that is giving much attention to this crisis. For years, many of us have been warning that the lack of security on our southern border is a major national security threat. Unfortunately, it could turn out to be a much larger threat than any of us ever imagined. According to Fox News, U.S. officials are seeing a 900% surge in encounters with Chinese nationals at our southern border. Footage taken by Fox News this week shows how Customs and Border Protection, CBP, are releasing busloads of Chinese nationals into the U.S. interior, just as the U.S.-Mexico border is seeing a 900% surge in encounters with migrants from the Chinese communist regime. We have never witnessed anything like this before. In 2022, the total of 1,987 Chinese nationals were apprehended along the southern border. As of March 30th, a total of 4,293 Chinese nationals have already been apprehended along with southern border so far this year. So that's just in 3 months. Now, already this year, some 4,293 Chinese migrants have been apprehended at the border. That is more than double the 2022 total of 1,987, according to the data published by the Customs and Border Protection Agency of the Department of Homeland Security. We are being told that they are coming because they want American freedom, quote unquote. Okay, if that's true, why didn't we see similar numbers coming over in previous years? Just as the U.S. and China are getting ready to fight a war, all of a sudden, we're witnessing an exponential surge in Chinese nationals coming across our southern border. Yeah, that doesn't seem suspicious at all. And almost all of the Chinese nationals that are illegally entering this country are men of military age. Did you notice in the video here that all of the Chinese migrants in the footage are men? I did not see one single woman, and I did not see one single child. Don't women and children want American freedom too? Something is not adding up. If Chinese migrants are caught while they are attempting to enter the country legally, U.S. authorities process them and then release them into our communities. 2 busloads of migrants were released to a non-governmental organization in Brownsville, Texas. CBP sources told Fox they are being released with notices to appear NTA because there are so many crossing and no more space to house them. Migrants released with NTAs are given a court hearing for their immigration cases, which can take between 4 and 7 years to resolve. As U.S. Senator Josh Hawley has pointed out, the Biden administration is not even trying to enforce our immigration laws at this point. Every single day, more Chinese nationals are released and they go free to go wherever they want. The Biden administration insists that they have to release these migrants into our communities because there are just so many of them that there is no more space to house them. I have a better solution. If someone comes here legally, don't let them in. But this is common sense, and our politicians don't like common sense, it appears. We know how most of these Chinese nationals are getting to the southern border. Most of them begin their journeys in Ecuador because Ecuador is one of the few countries that does not require tourist visas for Chinese citizens. The journey for many of these Chinese nationals begins in Ecuador. Sources tell News Nation, Ecuador is one of the few countries that does not require tourist visas for Chinese citizens. Many will land in Ecuador before making their way through the dangerous jungles of the Darien Gap in Panama. If the Chinese government is interested in doing something about the flow of migrants, they could greatly restrict or ban travel to Ecuador, but that is not happening. Could it be possible that this is all part of a plan? Could it be possible that the Chinese are prepositioning thousands upon thousands of men of military age for when a war begins, between the two nations finally breaks out? I would call this, in my comment in parenthesis, sleeper cells. Now, the Chinese know that the instant they attack Taiwan, it will mean war with the United States, but they keep preparing for such a conflict anyway. It has been said that most wars are won or lost long before they are even fought. In this case, the Biden administration is turning a blind eye to an absolutely massive security threat. Thousands upon thousands of Chinese men of military age have already entered this country illegally, and more are getting in every single day. And this is by Michael Schneider, and he says about the author, my name is Michael, and my brand new book entitled End Times is now available on Amazon. In addition to my new book, I've written 6 other books that are available on Amazon, including 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophecies of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters. When you purchase any of these books, you help to support the work that I'm doing. And one way that you can really help is by sending copies as gifts to family and friends. Time is short, and I need help getting these warnings into the hands of as many people as possible. I have also started a brand new Substack newsletter. I encourage you to subscribe to it so you don't miss any of the latest updates. I've published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and the Most Important News. And the articles that I publish on those sites are republished on dozens of other prominent websites all over the globe. I've always freely and happily allowed others to republish my articles on their own websites, but I also ask that they include this about the author section with each article. The material contained in this article is for general information purposes only, and readers should consult licensed professionals before making any legal, business, financial, or health decisions. I encourage you to follow me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, and any way that you can share these articles with others is definitely a great help. These are such troubled times and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, I strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. And this is by Michael Schneider on End of the American Dream. Please leave your comment about this. This is a very serious, I believe, a very serious national security threat. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.